Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ken Kunz from New Jersey Literacy Association. Last week we had such a great Earth Day celebration on Wednesday that we decided to start something new called Wonder Wednesdays. For Wonder Wednesdays, instead of having an entire read aloud, we're going to have a book talk and then have you inspired to wonder about something and different topics that are out there. So for today's Wonder Wednesday, I chose the book The Most Magnificent Thing by Ashley Spires. What's really awesome when you check out this book, and you could tell from the cover, is that you're introduced to a young girl who really likes to collect different things and to try to invent. The funny thing is, in this story, she has a little bit of a problem because her inventing doesn't always go the way as she has planned. You'll notice that her dog is down here on the bottom, and her dog is her assistant, and sometimes he's helpful, and a lot of times he's really not. So in this story, The Most Magnificent Thing, she actually sets out to make something really awesome as an invention, and then in the end, you'll be surprised to find out that she ends up making something really special for her dog. In just a minute, you're going to see an interview with an inventor who's from New Jersey. We're going to be interviewing Emily McHugh with a problem and solution to something that most of our students face as an issue in schools. Check this out. All right. We're here with Emily McHugh, and we're so excited. New Jersey Literacy Association launched last Wednesday our Earth Day event, and we sort of had this idea that it would be fun to do a Wonder Wednesday event where we talk about books and get kids wondering, and then feature different topics each week from now until June. So welcome, Emily.
Hi, guys. Nice to be here.
We're so excited to have you. So I just want to tell you a little bit about our book talk that we did. We were actually talking about the book, The Most Magnificent Thing. And as I was thinking about my book talk and organizing it, it actually made me think of you because the main character is this girl who's really excited about inventing something for her dog, who's also her assistant. And she goes through the entire story. And of course, she has some, blip ups where she's not really able to invent what she wants to invent, but at the end she creates something really cool. And I was just thinking of you because you've created something really cool, and it actually connects with the readers that we have here on the NJLA YouTube page.
That is awesome. You know what? I really do connect with that. When I was younger, I used to make a lot of things out of cardboard and paper. I had all these ideas, and I would just get them down and just try and create something. And it does take a lot of work, right? And sometimes you have to try the same thing over and over and over again until you get it just right. But in the end, it is so worth it. So it sounds like a fantastic read.
That's awesome. Yeah, and we have so many kids who've been tuning into our read alouds who send us emails of different pictures and posters and different books that they've been reading. And so I know for a fact we have a lot of kids who are making and creating at home. And so we're really happy to have you here to talk to us. So tell us a little bit about your most magnificent thing. What is it that you've done?
So I'm an occupational therapist, and I work a lot with children. I work in a school, and I work in a gym where kids come in and we teach them all different types of skills. And one thing that can be tricky for a lot of kids is shoe tying. So I created this shoelace right here, and it's called the Learning Lace. And it looks simple, but I put different colors on it, and there's a fun rhyme that goes along. And it actually took me 17 times to make this. I kept going to Target and Walmart and buying the paint and the different shoelaces. And finally, I got the colors just right. And here is my end product.
Oh, that's so funny. That kind of relates to the story too, because the young girl in the story, she keeps inventing, but her dog gets in the way. Sometimes he growls, sometimes he rips apart the things that she's working on. And so that's so awesome that you kept pushing forward, and then you created like a really colorful lace there.
Yeah, you know what? It's been a really exciting process, and even though it took me 17 times and I had to keep going back to the drawing board and keep repainting, and I would hang them over the kitchen chairs to dry, and actually I have a dog too, Mose, and a few times he would rip them off the chairs and the paint would smudge and I'd have to restart. So I am a lot like that character.
That's funny. So what made you want to work on this invention?
So I had some of the kiddos that I work with, and we kept working on shoe tying, and it was really difficult for them to figure out right where to put their fingers. So with the colors and the rhyme, it makes it a lot easier, so you know exactly where to place your fingers. So I had to find some colors that rhymed and different words that went around with the movements that your hand would make. So it was really the kids that inspired me to create this.
Oh, that's so awesome. Before being a college professor, I was a third grade teacher, and I can't help but remember how many times students would stop in the hallway and say, Mr. Kunz, can you help me tie my shoes? Or Dr. Ken, can you help me with this? And it's something that a lot of kids struggle with, not just when they're really little, but also as they get older too. You see so many kids, even in middle school, walking around with their shoes untied.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it work?
So, okay, I have to move my camera a little bit, so no making fun of my socks.
Okay, deal.
Let's see. Can you see my foot here?
I can.
Perfect, okay. So after you take your lace out, you splat your foot on black, hold your ends, send brown down, and pull. You're gonna hold green and gold, send blue around, and then you're gonna send blue through that hole you just made. You pull your red and blue thread, and now you're an ace at the learning lace.
Oh, that's awesome. So have you created, I know that I was definitely picking up on your rhyme there. Do you sing it, or do you just kind of rhyme it out like that?
I usually rhyme it out. I don't have the best singing voice, but you definitely can sing it.
That's so cool. You know what? I think it's such a great thing too, because it demonstrates for our kids and even just for teachers in general that we all learn in different ways. And so, I think for for somebody who's having trouble learning how to tie their shoes, or even for somebody who's inspired to help create something and make someone's life easier, you have both of those messages really with your invention there.
Yeah, and I started seeing how much rhythm and rhyme can really help kids learn, and even adults learn, right? Like, I actually was showing this to my dad, and he doesn't tie his shoes correctly, and I never knew that. So I sat down and I was like, Dad, you got to try the learning lace, right? So I taught him a few times with that rhythm and rhyme, and he got it. So now even my dad can tie his shoes the right way.
That is so awesome. So we know definitely that some of our young viewers are still learning how to tie their shoelaces, and then we have other older brothers and sisters who are teaching that skill at home at times. How can they stay connected to you or learn more about your invention?
Well, kind of just like I said with my dad, right? He was the learner and I was the teacher. So these older brothers and sisters can be super helpful. If they already know how to tie their shoes, they can be the teachers, because shoe tying can be super tricky. So to have a great teacher to help learn just helps that process and takes some of the frustration out. And then you go through that journey together, which is really special in the end.
That's awesome. So I know that you just recently started like your own website, and like that's the other thing too. Like, you had this idea, you had some challenges, but then you made like really a product. Like, what did you do something to get it official?
So you know what? Sharing it with family and friends was the biggest thing. I could not have done this on my own, right? It was my own idea, but once I shared it, people would give me tips and suggestions, or, oh, I know this person who works in the shoelace business, or I know this person who can help you plan it all out and then find a factory to help you actually create this product. And then my friend is in graphic design school, so she helped me with the packaging, which was such a fun thing to go through. So really, friends and family and just sharing your idea and seeing where it goes and making all those connections was the biggest thing to get it from my head to actual, in my hands.
That is so awesome. So Emily, is there anything else that you want our viewers or our readers to know?
I would say never give up. And at any time when that idea sparks to you, write it down. Sometimes I'm in the shower and I do my best thinking there. I'm on a walk with my dog and I have to race home to get it down. And I just disconnecting from the screens and being outside or just kind of being with yourself is when those ideas can really come. So I'd really encourage everyone to, I know that you're home a lot right now, get outside and just kind of start exploring. And I bet these ideas will come to you.
Yeah, and even for our kids who can't get outside, I mean, like you said, you have cardboard and colored pencils and scissors and so many things that you can just use to create even in your own home.
Yeah, and you just start doodling, and sometimes these things come out. It's like your hand just starts going. It's like, wow, I didn't even realize I was thinking of that, or that's something that's in need. And another great thing is to think of a problem and then find a solution to that problem. And it can be a little problem. Like shoe tying isn't a huge thing, but I found a solution to it. So that's another fun way to kind of spark an invention is figure out a problem around the house or something kind of annoying that you're finding happening and see if you can make it any easier.
And Emily, I think any teachers who are watching this too are thinking, oh my gosh, shoe tying is a huge thing it's something that we're not obviously doing right now with virtual learning, but man, when you're in the classroom, it comes up a lot. So I love how you took a problem and really created a solution to it. And we wish you the best of luck with your website and your product. And one of the things that we're going to do for NJLA is we're hoping that our kids who are viewing today not only get excited about reading the book, The Most Magnificent Thing, but also get excited about designing and labeling and creating their own inventions at home. So we're going to encourage all of our viewers as part of today's activity. You saw that our guest Emily has created shoelaces to help kids learn how to tie their shoes. What's a small problem that you have at home or something that you would want to invent? We'd like you to draw it out and diagram it and send us an email at njliteracy@gmail.com so that way we can share your inventions with others. And Emily also had, when we got on the phone this morning, she had a special offer that I thought was so cool for our kids.
Well, I'm so excited to see these inventions and ideas that all these listeners come up with. So we are going to pick out the top 3 inventions and ideas. It can be a drawing. You can write it out if you just have a thought in your head. You can create it if you want, but we're going to pick out the top 3 and then send out a shoelace to all those winners.
So you heard it from Emily. If you want that lace, and you have a special name for it too. You call it the learning lace.
Learning lace. Yeah.
If you want the learning lace, even if you already know how to tie your shoes, it's just an awesome, colorful shoelace that you can use to teach others. Definitely send us your invention at njliteracy@gmail.com. Emily, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to meet with us and to not only promote reading and literacy, but also to promote the creative side of inventing and making, because our kids really, really need all of that.
Well, this was awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to definitely keep watching all these Wonder Wednesdays and see what all these listeners come up with.
All right, thanks again.
Thank you.